Hey guys, it's me again, but if you don't know me, my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to show you guys my off-ice stretching routine / also my rolling routine. So I skated a little while ago today. Normally I do this routine at the rink, but I did not today because I wanted to show you. This routine is basically to get me back to me before I'm tight after I skate. So it's basically to get you back to what you were before you were tight, and also to kind of help you with like different skating stretches like Bealman, splits, Y-spin, and spirals, just to get them higher. It definitely targets your lower back and your hamstrings for sure, and your calves as well. So these stretches will help you loosen those and also help you get all your different like skating related stretches. I personally don't count how long I hold these stretches, but just for this video I'm going to have most of them for like 30 to 15 seconds depending on how I feel. I feel kind of tight today, so we'll see. To get the most out of this routine you need to be intentionally stretching, which is what I didn't do for a lot of years, but basically that means you need to breathe in your stretches instead of holding your breath and just holding a position. You have to breathe into it so your body like gets used to it. Because to get better at stretching, you need to be comfortable in the stretch that you're doing, so you need to breathe, okay? You'll see me breathing. You guys need to do it too. Breathe, okay? This is just a combination of all the stretching videos that I used to follow, but now I've come up with my own because I've watched so many videos, so maybe you can do that with mine. Just see what's helpful for you and see what's not helpful, and then just kind of incorporate it into your own routine. But yeah, let's get started. Alright, so the first stretch I do is just cat and cow. I really try to emphasize that I'm stretching out and arching my back because it's pretty tight after skating and also after doing hair cutters as well. Next, push your hips back and kind of pedal your feet while you're in a downward dog. This kind of helps me stretch out my calves since they're super tight as well. And try to press back your shoulders. Step 1 foot forward and then try to press your head onto your knee, keeping your back flat. Now flex the front foot and bend 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These will really help loosen up your hamstrings. Step that foot back and now step your left foot forward and do the same thing. Flex that front foot and bend 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to step your right foot forward into a lunge, and if you can, try to put your arms down on the inside of that foot that's in the front. Next, you're going to drop your back foot down and try to press that back leg all the way down to the floor if you can. Now you're going to sit back on that back foot and straighten the front knee and try to touch your nose to your knee and flatten your back. All these stretches where they're stretching out your hamstrings, you need to make sure that your back is flat and you're not rounding out your back. You can also flex your foot if you want a little bit more of a stretch as well. And then next you're going to come forward a bit more, and then you're going to grab that back foot with your opposite hand and try to pull that foot up and sit your pelvis down. And now we're just going to go back to that first position that we did before for a few more seconds in case you need a little bit of extra stretch there. Normally I do. So now step your left foot forward and go into a deep lunge. You can kind of rock around like I am doing because it kind of helps me get down a bit lower. And then you're going to drop that back foot down and try to press your leg down to the floor. Now sit back on that back leg, flex your foot, and try to reach your head all the way to your knee. Bend that front knee again and grab your back foot with your opposite hand. And try to really sit into this stretch. If you're not feeling anything, either pull back your back foot or try to sit down into it more. And then again back into this stretch that we did before. Now we're moving on to this next one, which is basically a half straddle. This is also to further stretch out my hamstrings. And remember to keep that back flat as you can and keep that knee straight as well. And then switch to the other side, do the same thing. Next, we're doing kind of a V sit. It's kind of like an intro before you do the pike because doing pikes hurts so bad. So I have to do this beforehand. Try to really stretch out your legs and breathe through this one. And now we're going to the pike. I honestly surprised myself this day because normally my legs hurt so bad when I do this, but today it was really good. And you can kind of rock back and forth like I'm doing here. It kind of puts the pressure off of both legs. But look how good that is. Like, it never is that good. I should probably hold my stretches longer because normally I don't hold them this long. Alright, next we're doing this sumo squat. You can kind of crack your back here. That's what I normally do here. Try to sit as low as you can. Onto our side lunges. Just try to flex that foot and bend the other knee. But if this is too easy for you, just try to push back that knee. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Next, I'm pretty sure you might have seen this before, but this is the frog stretch, and the goal is to get your heels or your feet to touch the ground. This is a really good hip opener. Surprisingly, I'm really good at this, but yet I can't do my middle splits, so I'm not entirely sure where I'm going wrong there, but that's fine. Alright, now we're actually doing your straddle, and we're going to reach our opposite hand to our opposite foot. It's a deeper stretch if you kind of sweep that other hand to the other side of your leg, if you need a bit more of a stretch. And then again, we're going to reach both hands to our foot, just to loosen up those hamstrings. And then again, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Touch your opposite hand, opposite foot. And now you're going to reach with both arms towards that foot. Last in this position, we're just going to reach forward and try to touch the ground. After this stretch, I kind of rest a bit because it's super hard on my legs. So take a little break here. Next, this is another good hip opener. Try to push your legs down all the way to the ground like this. It's very similar to the frog stretch. And now here are my middle splits. Let's just say I have never been able to do these ever, but this is the best I can do. I would recommend holding these kinds of stretches for 1 minute. And after this, I kind of just do butterfly for a bit because my legs hurt after all that. Next, we're going to do our normal splits, and you may or may not need a pillow for this depending on how flexible you are. First, we're going to do pigeon pose. For this one, if you want to make it a little bit harder, try to bring that front knee up to a 90-degree angle instead of having it more in towards your chest, and then try to put your face to the ground. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side as well. Try your best to keep your hip down as well, because that will really help you with your splits. Alright, now on to the actual splits. My camera stopped recording here, so I'm just using a freeze frame, but if you're not super flexible or you can't get down all the way, just put a pillow there and try to use gravity more by putting your arms up in the air, and it will really help you get down farther. My left leg is much better, so I don't need a pillow for this side. And once I get like halfway through 30 seconds, I normally try to raise my arms up and let gravity push me down. these next stretches you're gonna have to stand up, and they're mostly for figure skaters to do like all the different moves like spiral, Y, and then Bealman, which I'm not very good at, but I'll show you guys how I'm trying to help stretch them. I'm working on getting better unassisted spirals, so these high kicks are really gonna help keep that hip up, and I do 10 on each side. As you can tell, this one's my bad leg, but I'm still working on it. Next, we're going to try to hold all of these positions for 30 seconds. So the first one is just leg to the side. Personally, I didn't even hold them this long, so this was a bit of a challenge for me. But I highly recommend it because it really helped out. And then we're gonna switch to the other side. I thought I had a good side, but to be honest, they both look pretty good. And next we're gonna do front. Ideally you'd want your leg that's on the ground to be straighter, but obviously mine is not, so make sure to straighten out your leg that's on the ground. As you can tell, I'm having a little trouble staying upright, so make sure you have something secure to hold on to. And onto the other side. And now we're gonna go into basically a Chinese spiral position. Onto the other side, really lift up all the way as high as you can. And last is a Bealman. I personally can't do these, obviously, but I did manage to kind of do it in this video. It is definitely not there yet at all. And then last, to get higher spirals, you can go up against any wall, have one heel to the wall, and then slide that other foot all the way up and try to press back so the wall kind of forces your legs to be more of a split. We're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. And then last, we're gonna do the other side as well. And that's it for all the stretching we're doing. Alright, so now that we're done with the stretching, it's time to roll. That is the painful part. So I have my foam roller right here. It's a little bit squishier than I would want it to be, but if you're just starting out with rolling, I would recommend one that's a little squishier because it hurts a lot. If you guys haven't rolled before, it is very painful, but I can assure you that once you do it a lot, it doesn't hurt as much because I do it every day and it doesn't hurt as much anymore because my muscles are not as tight anymore. This part isn't going to be a voiceover because I kind of like feel it out on this one. I don't really count, so I'm going to kind of talk you through it. The first thing I normally do is roll my calves. The way I do this is I normally cross my calves like this and use my arms to go back and forth and kind of like rolling out the side, in the middle, and the inside. Make sure to go all the way up and don't bend your knees because you're not going to get your full weight of your body if you're bending your knees in. So it kind of counts halfway as an arm workout. And then once I kind of feel like I have done enough of the rolling on this side, I'm going to do it on my other leg. And this is like super personalized to like how your body's feeling. Just try to feel like what's tight or what you need to really work on for the day because it's like different every day. So these ones you can kind of just do at your own pace and I'll just show you with the ones that I do a lot. Then the next one is your I guess hamstring, it's hamstring I guess, but it's just like right here that you're going to be stretching out. This one doesn't really do much when I do it, but it might help you. Same thing, use your arms and just go down the bottom of your leg. And try to reach all the way to like the underneath of your knee. And then switch to the other foot. Alright. Okay, so this next one, I don't know what it's called, but it like does like right here. There's like this muscle or something that connect, like it's where all your muscles connect and it gets very tight. You'll know it when you feel it. It's not up here, it's the one that's more like down here. And I usually do this by putting my leg up in like a 4 and then turning a little bit and you'll kind of feel it like right here. It's very tight. Ow. Just go back and forth right there. Ooh, ow. Ow. Then other side, same thing. You can also just have both of your feet on the ground if this hurts a lot. Okay. Alright, next is back. For this, make sure your hair doesn't get in the way. Personally, I don't need to roll my back that often because rolling it doesn't really do much for me. But I kind of just do it to crack my back. Now, you just go kind of relax. I look kind of silly with my hair up like this, but it can roll under the roller. But you probably can't hear it, but my back is cracking. I'm gonna go on one side and the other side. Ow. You can also roll your lower back too, but it doesn't really do much when I do it, so I don't do it. And then the last one is the IT band. We love her. This is the most painful roller experience ever. When I first did it, I'm like, is it supposed to feel like this? It is. If it feels like pins and needles and it feels like you're dying, you're doing it right. So the IT band is right here, and you can start at your knee, but kind of start at the top of that. So go all the way down to your knee. You can have your foot like this, but it doesn't hurt me as much anymore, so I just do it like this. I just go all the way up. Ow, that really hurt. And then go all the way back down to your knee. All the way up. And then back. And then I kind of start turning more to the front of my thigh. And I do the front as well. And I try my best to kind of do the inside like this. And whatever spots are a little more tight, like right around my knee, I kind of just do like mini rolls. Ugh. That one takes a lot of getting used to, but it doesn't hurt as much anymore, and I promise it won't after a while if you keep doing it. And then same for the other side. Kind of start down here, and you're gonna roll all the way up. Oh, this one hurts more. Ow. Oof. Don't know what I did to this leg today, but must have done something. Oh my god. For me on this leg, it's hurting a little more like right here. So I'm just gonna roll this part a little bit more. Okay, that's enough for me. Alright, we're done here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like it if it was helpful, and you can just kind of come back to it and follow along with me. I do this basically every day. This is a little more intense than usual. Normally I don't hold everything for that long, but it feels so good if you hold it for that long. I feel amazing. I feel very relaxed. If you guys like this video, like it. If you like me, subscribe to my channel. Let me know if you guys want a little bit more specialized videos on like different stretches for like your back or your hips, or like leg stretches, because I didn't do too much back stuff because the cat and cow stretch kind of does enough for me to loosen up my back because it's not super tight. As you guys can tell, I did a lot of hamstring stretches. Like, I did so many, and you just kind of have to feel it out with your body as well. Like, I know my body pretty well, so I know that my hamstrings are really tight, so that's why I have so many hamstring stretches in there. So you can just kind of adjust it to your liking or what's super tight for you. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!